Good evening, YouTube. What's going on? JDad Workouts here. Today we're doing something different. I'm just going to do some dreadlock maintenance. Told you all in the last video that was going to happen. And so, yeah, here it is. Dreadlock maintenance. Why not? Yeah, so I'm going to go through a couple different methods on what I do and why I do it. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to do it. Everyone's going to tell you their way is the best way. I'm not going to tell you my way is the best way because figure it out for yourself. Before I did dreadlocks, I did research for the 3 years that I grew my hair out. And that's pretty much all I did. Come home from work, I did some research, watched videos on how to maintain them, on what people suggested, different ways to take care of them. I don't do the rip and twist method. I don't really understand how that one works. I get the concept of it, but I just don't do it myself. I go with crochet hooks. I have anywhere from a 2.1 millimeter hook down to a 0.75 millimeter hook. I got the 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter again. I think I got more 1 millimeters than anything, which is funny because I don't really like to use them too often either. 1.5. So yeah, 2 is the biggest I would go. I was given that one by another person with dreadlocks, and like, here, try this out. It works really good. Maybe they had thicker dreadlocks or something, or they had more strands going out of their dreads. I'm not sure. I don't quite remember. Still grateful for it. I do use it sometimes on the tips because I do like blunted tips. That one doesn't have a lot of work to go on to it to be continued to go back to being a blunted tip. If you know nothing about dreadlocks, then that one, from what I understand, is called more of a rat tail. It just kind of naturally goes to a point. And that one, if I pulled in all those loose ends, would be a blunt tip. I like the blunt tip look myself. I haven't done a lot of maintenance to my dreadlocks. As you can tell, there's like lumps and flumps all over the place. I actually have quite a bit of my side dreadlocks are trying to Congo, so I need to rip them apart and organize them as well. When I first started doing dreadlocks, I don't do it so much now. I probably do it tonight though, because I haven't really been keeping up with the maintenance of the roots of my dreadlocks lately. So don't like doing this, mainly because it's rubber and plasticky shit, but I go with elastic bands. Just little black hair elastics. You can get them from some beauty supply shops. If you're in New Zealand, I'm not sure where you'd get them here. My mom brings them over from Canada for me, or ships them over from Canada for me. If you're in Canada area, I think it's Sally's Beauty Supplies. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Anyways, there's also for maintaining the roots. So you can do the crochet hook, which is not too bad. It's not too painful. If you pull it too tight, then yes, it is painful. You can also use this thing. I forget what else it's used for. I think it was used for carpets or some other bullshit. My parents told me, or I think I got it from a sewing shop. So I'm assuming it's got other aspects of sewing or crocheting. Some was within it. It's really good though. I'll show you how it works with this one, because look at that. That's the space between the root. So what you would do, you take it, you poke it through, try to find the end of your dreadlock. You feed it through the tip. I pull it through quite a bit just to make sure that it goes through it. And you kind of wiggle it through because it hurts like a motherfucker sometimes, like that did. And so in theory, as I pull that through, it twists the two different sides together. Well, not together, but it twists those two sides, pulling in all those loose hairs. Then I'm going in with my 0.75 millimeter, and then I just combine those two together. And I will show you how that root looks afterwards, because it's not going to have no gap in it now. There are a lot of different talks saying that, hey, it's a good way. A lot of people say it's a great way to do your dreadlocks. A lot of people say don't do it. It does this, it does that. I don't pull it through multiple times. You saw how big that gap was. I pulled it through once and I've crocheted that now. Now, if I really wanted to, I'll take one of my black elastics. Again, the only reason I use these is because I'm not getting into the dread maintenance as much as I should. Been really busy making YouTube videos, family life, and work. So, yeah, kind of neglecting my dreads, unfortunately. Go 3 times around, good to go. Another reason I don't like to use the elastics, to tell you the truth, is I have little kids. My wife takes care of little kids, and they eventually fall out of your hair. So I'm always, when I do put them in my hair, I'm constantly picking them up, sucking them up with a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, it sucks that way, but it does help keep your dreadlocks together at the base for quite some time. I can leave them in for like 2 to 3 months and then redo my whole head. I lately haven't been doing that though, because I also live somewhere that's close to the ocean, and I like going into the ocean. Salt water is supposed to be really good for your hair, your dreadlocks, tightening them up. So I try not to use anything in my hair that's going to fall out. I do have some wood beads in my hair still. I took out all my metal ones because I realized that they were getting like this really funny, nasty corrosion underneath. They were going green. Not a color I really wanted. So I ditched all the metal that was in my head, all my dreadlocks. And yeah, my dreadlocks are healthier for it. Not saying you can't use those style of beads or whatever. I like them. I still use them in my beard. So I'll put a plait or a braid in my beard, depending where you're from. You call it different shit. But yeah, these are obviously just little Viking rune ones. There you go. You can see that. So yeah, I used to have a whole set of those throughout my whole head. And yeah, then I noticed that they were getting a little funny. So I stopped using them. If you can't find that tool and you're really interested in using it, I did try to, so this is just from another crochet hook that I used to have, but it had broke. So what I did, I stuck a bobby pin on, yeah, it's a bobby pin. Opened up the bobby pin a bit, taped it up. It's not as comfortable if you get that tape in your hair. I mean, it's all stuck to itself, but there are some times when I felt it like ripping on my hair a little bit. So I stopped using that. Then I purchased that one. This one does work really nice. You saw what I just did with it. I don't do that to every single one of my dreadlocks. I do it when I think it needs it. If you have dreadlocks, maybe you already like know how to listen to your body and pick up on certain things. And that's what I do with my dreadlocks. I just kind of feel what I need for certain dreadlocks and I do it. My main go-to is 0.75 millimeter hook. That one's actually the 1 millimeter. I use that one quite often too. Again, I have more 1 millimeters than I do anything. But that's probably because the rest of my 7.5 millimeters broke. I've had quite a few different crochet hooks break off in my dreadlocks because I just too much hair and I pulled too hard and it either ripped my hair or ripped the knots right off. So be careful doing that. Again, do research within dreadlocks. If you want dreadlocks, just do your research while you're growing your hair out for it. If your hair's already long enough, then do research while you're getting dreadlocks put in. It never hurts. Everyone's got an opinion. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them, they use the technique, but they use the technique wrong. So a lot of people will sit there and tell you, do not crochet your dreads. I've crocheted my dreads the entire time I've had them. And I'm going on 8 years. They are down to my ass. To this day, I have not had one break off midway. Some people sit there and say, oh, you get a weak point right here, and then the rest of the dreadlock break off and fall off. because it's too weak because you damaged your hair from over crocheting it. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't had it happen. So just go with what you think is right. Do research, find different techniques, listen to a wide variety of people, and suss out what you think is going to be best for your dreadlocks and what you want to do. Yeah, other than that, here, I'll show you one that I just used crochet hook. Crochet hook will take a lot longer to do. Yeah, that's another one with a space in the middle. Look at that. Poke my finger through it. So what I do is I try to gather up all the hair that is supposed to be with that dreadlock, and I try to pinch it all together. This is fun. I love this. That's another reason I don't do it too often. And then I go roughly about a finger width away from my scalp, because you're going to pull. As you put the crochet hook in, you're going to pull hair through and then poke it back in and pull more hair through, trying to make little knots with inside your dreadlock. So already, I mean, if I wanted to, I'd force my finger through that, but it's already just out of a couple locked in. So now I would also go all the way down my dreadlock, taking out that lump. I mean, I don't mind some of the lumps. Some of the lumps I have left. Some of them, I try to tuck them back in. And then again, that to me is more of a rat tail tip. I would like it to be a blunt tip, so I'd pull that back in. I had friends that they saw me when my dreadlocks were just here, and that took me a whole night. Like, I get home from work and I would work on my head for one whole night, and that was me for the night. That's all I did. I did my dreadlocks, I'd eat, have a shower, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, at least my dreadlocks were done. Now that they're down to my ass, I'll do half my head. Either pick one half, or I'll do the top half and I'll do the bottom half afterwards, or the back half. I usually start at the back half because I find it's most difficult. Your hands are both back there. Some people probably set up mirrors so that they can actually see what the fuck they're doing. But I mean, as you can see, when I'm doing dreadlocks, even in the front of my head, if that light wasn't so shitty right there. So you can't really see what the hell you're doing anyways. It's all feel. You're going to stick your crochet hook in there. You're going to stab yourself a lot, by the way. If you're doing crochet hook method, you're going to stab yourself a lot. It hurts like a motherfucker. I don't know if that's mainly because I'm a granite guy. I do granite fabrication for work. You can't really tell. But sometimes I wear my fingerprints right off to the fact that they bleed like pretty hard out. And then one quick little stab with this, and it's opened right up and it's bleeding all over the place again. So be careful with the crochet hooks. They can be sharp, especially if you break your tip off. It's going to be a lot sharper at that point. But yeah, let me know what you like about this video, what you don't like about this video. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Let me know some stuff. Let me, I'm looking forward to getting some haters out there, some trolls. Let me know.